Hello and welcome to Claire Asks Philosophical Questions dressed in her pyjamas, looking very dishevelled after an exam and waiting for her tea to brew. Yay. Before I get into the meat, so to speak, I just want to say that a lot of the views I present to you and a lot of my opinions probably won't be what you think and believe is correct. That's not to say you are incorrect. That is to say that I have different beliefs and people do have different beliefs. So if you are going to comment, please do comment. Please do tell me why you disagree with me and what you believe different, if that makes sense in English, and what you believe, but please don't be mean about what I believe or what other people believe, because everybody has their own opinions. Hit Single by Claire Margerison. I mainly want to talk about God today. Haha, cue the controversy. Because I've just had an exam in which I've kind of explored experiences of God, religious experiences, and I'm not going to go into this in terms of a revision video. This is just me talking at a camera. None of this has any truth, probably. My experience with God is basically I got baptised when I was, I don't know how old I was, whatever age I was in March 2006. And that was a decision I made. I wasn't christened as a kid, and it was a decision I made because I started believing in God, or gods really, I don't know, I kind of was studying Greek gods, and somehow it just made sense to me that there was a God guy up there. I guess how old was I? 2006. I was, take 7 off my age now, 11, about 11, 10, 11 years old. And my view of God was like Zeus. Zeus was the idea that I had of God. It just kind of made sense to me. It really did. It wasn't something that I kind of was influenced by. Like, my parents didn't influence me to believe in God. It wasn't something I'd been brought up with other than sort of religious studies at school and going to guides. It just was natural for me. And then I went to secondary school and we did religious studies. When I got about into year 10 or year 11, we were doing long course. So that was kind of more detailed than the regular short course RS that people do at school, and the people in the class had very, very interesting views, and that made us discuss things and chat about things. And it was kind of then that I started not doubting the belief in God, and I don't want to say grew out of, because that's not what it was either. I'd say beginning of year 10 I did believe in God, and by the end of year 10 I was agnostic, which, if you don't know what that means, it means that I kind of don't know. Since then I've kind of named myself an agnostic theist, and that kind of categorises myself to be someone who doesn't know if there is a God or what God is, but kind of believes that there is. I don't know. I really, really don't know. I've kind of come into contact with quite a lot of different faiths. My best friend growing up, my next door neighbour, was quite strictly Catholic. Quite devout Catholic. As in, they went to church every Sunday, and it was kind of a big part of their lives. And I guess that Laura, my friend, very heavily influenced me. Like, she influenced me to believe in God, but not her going, you must believe in God. It just kind of happened. It was a thing that we talked about sometimes, and it was just a thing that I did, and it wasn't a conscious decision. I think that because Laura was so Christian, and because I went to church with her a couple of times, and because she went to a Catholic primary school, it just kind of happened, and that's one of the reasons why I think I believed in God as a kid. At school, I didn't really go to a Christian school, but we did sing hymns. Yeah. And then going into secondary school, I came across a lot of atheists, actually. It was kind of 50-50, and then by the end of year 11 it was probably 70-30 atheists to theists, and then going into sixth form to do philosophy it was probably 90-10, if that. A lot of people didn't believe in God in my philosophy class, which was very interesting when it came to talking about God. Though it would have been nice to have kind of a bit more balanced argument. I don't know. I would say that mainly I want to believe in God. I really do. I was sitting in my philosophy exam going through all these arguments about religious experience, and I do want to believe in God. It's something that I do want to believe in, but I don't know if I can. I really am so conflicted about it. Really, really conflicted. I think if something were to happen, like a religious experience, then obviously I would believe in God, but I don't know whether they exist. It's based on your own experiences, I think, and a very private and personal thing that you can't really describe to anybody else. I can't really sit here and say that I don't believe in God because of these reasons, or I do believe in God because of these reasons, because that's not how it works in my mind. And I've studied so many arguments for the existence of God. I've studied so many criticisms of those arguments now that I think my logical, sort of empirical, so to speak, mind says that there isn't a God. But just a part of me still thinks there is. I don't know.